All right. Well, welcome back to the iWealth podcast. And today we're talking about, over all the years, one of the most profound things that you ever said to me. You know what it is?
I don't. Here we go.
You said when you're in the gap, you got to have something to look forward to. And there was just a moment where I was like, this is just getting overwhelming, like having my own business, doing the little podcast thing, and keeping track of everything else that, from my family life to, it was just a lot at that moment. And you asked me the question, Matt, what are you looking forward to? And that was probably the most profound thing.
That's interesting. Yeah. I talk a lot, and a lot of this comes from Strategic Coach. I've been there for 15 years, and if you don't know what that is, Dan Sullivan started it. I go to Chicago once a quarter, and I'm in a room with 40 other entrepreneurs, and we work on our business basically, but it's life things and stuff like that too. But so a lot of my mindset, I think, is derived from those meetings. But he talks about growth-minded individuals, and I want to hang around and be around people that are growth-minded, meaning that their future is bigger than their past. And I think where that comes from, Matt, is just, I've talked to people and they're like, I have trouble sleeping and things, and unfortunately for them, but fortunately for me, I don't. But one of the things that I do, one of the tricks I have, is I'm always thinking about what's next when I go to bed, and it's not work related. It's planting corn at the farm, or it's the landscaping that we're going to do at the house, or things that I want to do that I'm looking forward to. And if I can get my mind about in the right place where it's future looking, it's something I am going to want to enjoy or will enjoy, then I think I get that growth mindset where I can fall asleep, at night. And so a lot of times people, and this has been taught to me, a lot of times people that are in the gap, what they're doing is they want that thing out in front of them, and they're pushing so hard that they don't measure backwards. But when they're in the gap, sometimes they can't even think about what's in front of them. Like if you're busy doing work, if I can get you to think about going on a trip 3 months from now, like 3 months from now, Matt, you're going to be going through Colorado with your family, and you're going to be mountain biking, and you're going to be fishing and white river rafting. If I can get you to think about that trip, even though you're in the mud today with your work, that helps people get a better mindset. I mean, does it work? Have you found out that? How do you do it? What's your trick?
Through. That's the whole thing. Is it kind of pulls you through to that next stage of what could this be like, even though I'm in the weeds at this moment.
But don't you think a lot of people get stuck, Matt, because they don't? Okay, so great, sounds great, but you actually have to do the planning too, right? You have to have it set. Yep. There has to be something in your calendar. And it doesn't have to be a big trip.
It affects even the people that you talk to, because then the next day they're like, hey, what's going on? And then you're like, oh, well, I'm planning for this thing that's upcoming in 4 months from now, where we're going to go out to Colorado and do a little whitewater rafting. I was looking at sites last night for whitewater rafting. And have you ever been whitewater rafting? So I know it sounds kind of like fake in that scenario, but that's really what ends up happening on a daily basis when you are looking forward to something.
Yeah, and I think, I've used that. It's not a trick, but I've used that mindset with clients with retirement. They're at a 9-to-5 job, just grinding it out every day, and just want to get out of there. And when I can get their mind switched to, what are you looking forward to? What are you going to go to retire to? What's forward looking? And it's grandkids, and it's volunteering, it's all those things. Like that mind shift has really helped people when they think about retirement. Instead of focusing on just getting out of this mud that they're in, instead, they want to focus on what they're excited to do down the road. Yeah. But I found a lot of people, a lot of friends, they'll talk about that next step, but they don't go and book the trip, or they don't book the time in their calendar to go see grandma that they've been planning to do for the last 6 months. Yep. That's going to give them joy once they finally get there. So yeah, I love that thought of that mindset. So I'm glad it helped, because there's a lot of stupid things I say too. So
what are you looking forward to? That's the question that we have for you at home today. So if you don't have something to look forward to, put something on the calendar, and
that's right.
And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, have that future mindset. Have your future be bigger than your past. If you can get that mindset that, yeah, I'm 75 years old, don't care, because next year is going to be my best year ever. If you have the mindset, you're going to have a great year. But if you have the mindset that I'm 75 and my life's over, and my good days and glory days are behind me, you're a drag to hang around. Like, it's tough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, having that mindset is so big.
There you go. Well, we'll see you back here next time on the iWealth podcast.
Thanks, Matt.